So, for example, if there's a fire or a tornado or a hurricane or a flood or something catastrophic like that, a strong windstorm or a tree falls through the building, can the business continue to operate through those periods where you have something out of your control? Um, and again, as the owner, what happens if something happens to you? What happens if something happens to a key employee? What happens if something happens to your only working crew? What happens if your truck or vehicle or service van or whatever is in an accident? How are you able to continue to produce revenue without that asset or without that person behind the wheel of that vehicle or something like that, right? So you always want to think through these things, have a plan in place for in case something happens, you have a backup plan and you know we can immediately operate here. We can change course here. We can work remotely from our homes, right? So what happens if another pandemic comes, God forbid, and they shut down our economy again? What happens, right? Because I think we're all out of that mindset now. Nobody's thinking about what if this happens again. We need to be thinking about what if this happens again. We need to be thinking about what if some country who we just dropped bombs on decides to send bombs our way, right? On missiles or some. You need to just think about these things because there's too many factors outside of our control. We need to know what that's going to look like.